What is this area of the law about? This series of videos and the associated readings and questions for reflection are about the law of the ownership of the family home. They are about the legal regime that allocates property rights in the family home. I have in mind especially the married couple or the couple in a long-term stable relationship and their respective ownership rights in the property that they think of as being their family home. What ownership rights do each of the couple have in this family home? The answer to this question will be important if the relationship ends. The family home may be the main store of the family's wealth. If the relationship breaks down, it may be necessary to sell the family home and to decide what share each of the parties is to have in the proceeds of sale. The answer to the ownership question will also be important if the creditors of one of the parties asserts a claim against the family home. This claim can only be asserted against the person who is indebted, so that it becomes important to know what share the debtor has in the family home. Only that share is available to creditors. Petit and petit is the starting point for the use of the common intention constructive trust in England and in Hong Kong as the legal device for resolving disputes about the ownership of the family home. This was a dispute between a husband and wife who were divorcing. At that time, there was no ancillary relief regime for divorcing couples. The House of Lords set about the task of adapting property law principles to make up for this lack of a legislative code. The courts do now have the power to make ancillary relief orders under Section 6 of Hong Kong's Matrimonial Proceedings and Property Ordinance. This is not applicable, however, to unmarried cohabitees. Stack and Dowden is one of the most significant decisions in this area. Here's an extract from the judgment of Lord Hope. Just take a minute to read it. The law in this area is increasingly driven by the need to come up with a fair answer to the question, who owns the family home? Both property law and family law have principles relating to the allocation of rights in the family home when a relationship breaks down. Our focus is on the property law principles that are relevant to this question, rather than on family law. As we will see in later modules, the recent development of the law in this area reflects the rise in the phenomenon of unmarried cohabitation and the lack of an ancillary relief regime for unmarried cohabitees who break up. There's a strong argument to the effect that property law in this area has been affected by family law principles. As we'll see, the courts have tried to adapt existing property law principles to make them fit for purpose in dealing with the issues that arise in the family home context. As we'll see in later modules, dealing with the problem of the ownership of the family home could involve an updating of existing doctrines, such as that of the purchase price resulting trust. Alternatively, the search for a fair and workable approach might involve the creation of new judicial or legislative codes designed specifically with the family home in mind, but drawing on familiar legal concepts. While it's appropriate to think of this area of law as belonging to the property law field, it has distinctive features of its own. These features are so distinctive that it's misleading and unhelpful to regard them as being undifferentiated from the other problems that face property law. Some property law textbooks now have chapters that deal with the family home. This is a sign of the fact that this is a distinctive branch of property law. These videos and readings, which we can refer to as modules, are intended to be a catalyst for your reflection and inquiry. They introduce the relevant aspects of the law in this area, particularly the law in Hong Kong and the English law, which has been so influential in the development of Hong Kong's law. I hope that they will provoke your interest in and engagement with this area of the law. Each video in this series is accompanied by a seminar guide with a transcript of the video, links to the resources referred to in the video wherever possible, along with relevant readings and some questions for reflection.